All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sean here with Silverhound. I hope everyone's doing well. Today, we have the Monday market report for the week ending April 30th, 2023. The final MMR for the month, and probably one of the more hyped weekends that we've seen in quite a while. We had the Central States Numismatic Society show that took place outside of Chicago and Schaumburg, actually. And it was a great event. It went on for almost the full week. It started, I guess, on Tuesday and ran all the way up till Saturday. A lot of people did close up shop a day early. Although on the last day, you could probably pick up some pretty good deals. So we have great collections, auctions that we're going to talk about today. A lot of realized sales, even though they weren't directly a part of the Central States experience. I believe Heritage Auctions was the auction house that was a part of that event. They ended up selling some coins for the event, but in any event, we're going to vent. Yeah, enough of that silliness, but we still had a number of great sales. We actually have a pretty stacked list of coins that we're going to talk about. We actually have 23 lots here today to discuss. And you're going to find that a lot of the coins that are showcased here in this one, a lot of collector grade stuff has all of a sudden just popped out of nowhere. And I think that's a lot of the fervor surrounding around Central States. And typically Central States is the biggest show of the spring. And then as we crawl closer to Memorial Day weekend, all right, that's kind of the tipping point. Where is the market going to go after Memorial Day? Is it going to drop a little bit lower? People are actually going to head out on vacation? Are we just going to see less sales during this time period? Or are we going to see drops in prices? There's a lot to be unwrapped here, Of course, the precious metals market, we have to keep a close eye on that as well. Are we going to continue to see this strong support floor of $25? Are things going to keep continuing to go on with the banking fiasco that we've seen? I don't know. It's anybody's guess, but I think the precious metals market is going to be one of those indicators that we have to keep a close eye on. Inflation is still a real problem, even though certain individuals at the government level have said, well, inflation hasn't gone up. It should be going down. And it hasn't. Everything is ridiculously expensive to own today. And again, that in large part will affect various collectible markets. All right, as people are looking for that safe haven. All right, so again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, all of the listings today are from greatcollections.com. You're one of the best premier auction houses that you'll come across on the net. If you're looking to sell, they're right up there. I would say they might be the best option today because they have weekly sales going on. So if you have a coin you want to consign that you've been sitting on for a while, they could get your listing in pretty quickly. And taking advantage of this great market that we're all kind of living in right now. But also a great place to just buy collector grade level of coins. If you're looking to add to your collection, all right, and you want stuff that's meaningful, that'll have lots of value in the future, more than likely Great Collections is going to have that piece for you. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Thanks so much, guys, again, for your views and support. We're going to start it off with an unlikely addition to the list, but this is probably more of, this is what's going on today. 2019 Lincoln Shield cent is not a coin that normally we would associate with like big money kind of like sales. But again, when we have the registry set looming large over the hobby as a new exciting kind of thing to pursue, that's going to drive the prices of a lot of coins like this through the roof, even though we're only like 4 years removed from when this coin actually released. But as you can see, what's so special about Mint State 68 Red on this date? Well, it's a top grade. This is going to matter to people that are actively in a Lincoln Cent registry on PCGS or NGC's website. So, this is kind of like that secret society of deep pockets people that are just pumping so much money into these to obtain them. In this particular case, it's kind of hard to associate 2019 Lincoln Shield cent with $1,743.75. It just seems kind of weird, when we see that kind of price on a coin like this. But as long as you guys know where all of this activity is being sourced from, then you might understand a little bit. I'm not expecting you guys to understand a lot more than what we know now, but it's crazy. Not saying that you guys should actively pursue these coins and send them off to the graders, because it's much more difficult to do than just seeing the realized price data over something like this. So pretty incredible. Proof coins still getting some love. There's actually quite a fair share of various proof issues that sold for a lot of money. We're not going to cover too many of these, only because proof coins to a lot of folks aren't the bread and butter kind of like go-to coins to collect. All right, I'm just going to be honest. They're not. 1981, they call this the Type 1. That's the mid-mark style Lincoln Memorial cent that grades out PCGS Proof 70 red. Also has deep cameo frosting, and it shows every bit of that. Very pretty coin here. But even coins like this are being scooped up by dedicated registry sets, and proof coins of every denomination are a large part of that. This one ended up selling for $2,418.75. We have a couple of popular one-year type coins here. The zinc-coated Steelies of 1943 are always collected and highly desired. I actually have a number of people that are looking for these in mint-state raw, okay, which means they're ungraded, on kind of like my, wish list. I have a wish list from various clients. And, at the top, there's probably a good half a dozen or more people that are looking for just a few examples of this coin in raw condition and in mint state. And I was able to find some at a coin show this weekend. The coin shows have been absolutely spectacular. We're seeing a lot of new youth, which is nice. And before I get into too much of a tangent, let's go back to our 1943 D Lincoln cent. Yeah, you can tell I'm impassioned about shows. And we'll talk a little bit more about it at the end, because I will be in attendance at another show and another show after that. It's going to be a busy summer. NGC graded this one as mid-state 68. That's the grade to have there. I believe 68 plus might be the top pop for a lot of these dates. However, this particular example ended up selling for $1,008.90. We also have a Philadelphia in also a 68. However, PCGS ended up grading this one CAC green bean as well. And I'm happy to say that this one sold for $4,884.75. So you can just see just from these two examples that the market for these Steelies at the highest level continue to impress every single week. So we continue to see that. These things are just going to go to the moon, and, there's really not going to be a whole lot of price retracement on these. And I don't expect to, because they're just so popular. All right, so how about one of the more tougher dates to find out there in high grades? 1933 Lincoln wheat right here is an NGC mid-state 67 plus full red. Anything from the early 30s, 30 to 33. Yeah, rest assured, they're always commanding so much money at the highest level that it's kind of hard to ignore these now. And, a lot of those examples, they're really tough to find in grades above mid-state 65. This one right here is sold for $1,687.50. So they do go a lot higher than that. You just need to make sure that the examples that you do come across are relatively clean and full red. And I like this one, just as an early kind of like collectible type piece. Investors will like a coin like this, 1921 Lincoln wheat cent. It's got some beautiful kind of peripheral rose toning on here, which adds that extra element of zest for a collector that's looking for just originality. And this one has it all. PCGS tabbed this one at Mid-State 66 Plus full red. It's such a pretty example. It's even got a CAC green bean sticker. This one ended up selling for $2,137.50. So well done. That's a great sale on a red-brown coin. And the final 1 cent denomination of the list, it has to be a 1909S, but not a VDB, actually. It's kind of crazy when we don't talk about a VDB, because there is always one that sells for over $1,000 every week. But how about this well-known variety, the S over horizontal S type is a beautiful Cherry Picker's Guide variety. PCGS got this one at a 66 plus full red, and of course it's got the CAC sticker in attendance as well. This one ended up just blasted through for $4,051.12. So again, case in point, these kind of like second tier key day coins at the right grade level are going to command a lot of eyeballs in the auction house. It doesn't matter if they're in central states or anywhere else. Believe me, they're going to have their phones ready to pick up some of these coins that you just don't see anywhere else. All right, we do have a few nickels. Actually, a pretty decent lot. 1944D. Now, of course, the 42 to 45 wartime silver era of nickels are, again, kind of like that niche one-shot type of era. Similar to the steel cent that we looked at. So these are always very popular at the very top. 1944D is what we're looking at here. Of course, it's got the large mint mark above the dome in Monticello. NGC Mid-State 68 with 5 full steps. Beautifully well-struck coin. I would say for the most part all original and not too terribly toned. I know some people like that look. This one sold for $1,275.75. And a lot of people and a lot of collectors and a lot of investors' favorite variety of the 20th century, I would probably put the 1937D three-legged buffalo on the list. Okay, you can make the argument for the 55 double die and the 42 over 1 Mercury dime. There's a few of them, okay? I would say they're all top 5 material. But the three-legged buffalo, a lot of people know about this coin. Even people that don't collect into it, they've actually heard about coins like this. You could even find them in a 36 Denver as well, although not as crisp and ridiculous as this one is. This is always going to be, again, toward the very top of a lot of wish lists for every conceivable type of collector. So when one, again, comes out in the marketplace, and one that grades 65 plus, beautiful, CAC certified, there's going to be a lot of investors, a lot of big, deep pockets people that are going to aim to own this one. This one ended up selling for $31,500. That's pretty much a new car at this case. And it's always good to see stuff like this. And because it sold during the Central State Show, well, that's very meaningful and kind of synonymous of how great and robust the hobby is every time this year, every single year. 1927D. Boy, where's the luster on this one? Well, it's non-existent. A lot of mid-20s buffaloes kind of suffered from that kind of the amazing quality that we all want. The luster has always seemed to be one of the attributes that a lot of collectors yearn for, and there are just some that you just don't see it quite often. It doesn't diminish the overall desirability of a coin, because people do understand that the quality of such coins during this era left a lot to be desired. All right, it just is what it is. But how about this Mid-State 65 plus example? Very well struck for the date, and shows a little striations of that wood grain toning on the reverse, which, I'm okay with. I'm a little partial to it. This one ended up selling for $3,825. So again, another strong showing on a what I call very mid-grade type of coin here. And same can be said for this one, although it is a Philadelphia, but a very nice, lustrous coin right here. Mid-State 67 on this 1925P. Looks very satiny, all right, and it's pretty nice. It's a good example for a high-end Buffalo nickel set. Might even look good in a registry as well. This one ended up selling for $3,487.50. More very nice market acceptable buffaloes. I'm in awe at the amount of buffaloes that showed up this week. 1919S. When we get into the teens, it kind of ratchets up to a completely different level in terms of desirability, quality. The quality is generally a little bit better during the teens. This one, no exception. PCGS Mid-State 64 is a fine grade, but nowhere near close to the top. And even if it was, we're talking like a 5-figure coin all day long. So consider this one more of a bargain at $3,262.50. That's a lot of money for it being a bargain, but a lot of people that are looking for tougher branch mint teens buffaloes will end up having to pay a lot more if that's all they could settle. And then we also have the 17S, the final nickel of the bunch for today. Another great looking coin, a little bit more shinier mid-state than the previous coin, which has more of a muted satiny surface to it. Very well struck. Again, a very mid kind of grade level, very average, mid-state 65, for it being a top flight coin and all. This one ended up selling for $3,600. So again, another premium type coin right here. All right, so the dimes were really unusual in a sense that we don't normally see, some of these dates pop up, and of course my criteria is anything that sells for over $1,000 certainly deserves some consideration for the Monday market report. So when I saw this 1977, I'm like, wow, okay, that's a little unusual. I don't think I've ever had a 77 dime on the MMR ever since the very beginning, and we're going back about 6-7 years, guys, of doing this program. So Mid-State 67 full torch, a very well struck example, and that's just something you don't see very often. This one, again, there are a number of dedicated Roosevelt dime registry set participants, so they'll need this one regardless. This one sold for $1,406.25. So kudos to the seller, to the buyer. Again, it might be another 6-7 years before we see another top pop grade 77 come to the market. And this one probably, because of its crusty original skin on there, the 58 Philly, can be a little bit tough to find with full bands or full torch. This one is a 67 FB. And, the toning is, I could be a little indifferent on it. It's not a personal favorite of mine. Kind of makes the coin look a lot more dark and muted than anything else. And the luster is a little bit, kind of under that skin. And, I love luster on a coin. This one sold for $1,428.75. Again, this is a registry set coin that is needed out of necessity and not necessarily as an investor piece. The Mercury dimes, so we had a couple of them, but very nice high-profile dates. 31S is a little bit tougher than your average bear. Is it rare? No, but in like high mid-state grades, they are a showstopper. So this is a 66 plus full bands. It is also a very well-known doubled die obverse as well. FS 101, as a matter of fact, in the Cherry Picker's Guide. CAC certed as well, and I'm happy to say that this one brought home $7,312.50. And, of course, no MMR is complete without one very nice 16D, all right? This is the key of keys right here. And if you're looking to grab an XF40, which has still a relatively decent amount of meat on the bones as far as detail is concerned, you're going to end up paying a premium, especially CAC certed coins like this one. This one sold for $7,115.62. Again, kind of cementing its legacy as one of the marquee key dates in the series, and let alone 20th century U.S. type collecting. The 16D is not an easy coin to obtain today for a reasonable amount of money. There's just going to be a lot of people that want this. All right, pretty cool set of quarters. No Washingtons this week. Yeah, kind of quiet. All right, and then usually when we have a big auction, a nationwide auction like the CSNS, typically all the other auction sites will dial down their quality inventory for sale. So that's probably why we don't see too many Washingtons. They're withholding that for the next week. 1929, a relatively common date. You can find these in mid-state condition and be around $150 raw. But how about a nice high-end mid-state 66 with full head designation on there? That could be a little bit tougher. $1,393.88 was the final hammer on this one. Again, not my personal favorite, but the black dark terminal toning that you see on this one is probably more for the original skin than anything else. Again, made probably for a registry set or a dedicated SLQ enthusiast. This is a 28S. So again, not exactly a tough date. You can find these with enough ease in, melt bins, things like that. 28S is very common, even in grades as high as AU and low mid-state. This one's a 66 full head, and this one did sell for $1,181.25, so almost $1,200 on this. Probably my favorite coin of the week. There's something to be said about Barber quarters and half dollars with deep cameo contrast. So we're talking about proofs here. There's just something supernatural about it. I mean, if you find the right example that have like even more deep, dark fields than this one, the image of Liberty almost looks ghostly. It's kind of the craziest, notion. It's hard to describe, but some of these coins, I've never owned a proof Barber, and that's a big bucket list item for me, and a big ticket, high price item as well. Like this one, this is like my style. I want something like this. It's 66 deep cameo by PCGS, and $4,624.88 later, I'm just gonna have to sit back and continue to save up all my pennies, nickels, and dimes till we get there. But you can see that these low mintage, like seriously low mintage coins of this appearance are constantly being taken off the market. So I don't know. We'll see if I can get one. I'll let you guys know. It might be a year or two or three before we get there. But yeah, this is a huge one on my list. 1971S Kennedy. Wow. I mean, shoot. We just, again, another coin that doesn't pop up too often. And this one, you look at the grade, you're like, that's it? Proof 69, deep cameo? You'd figure a 70 would be the one that would, fetch a lot of interest. But yeah, the deep cameo contrast, this is the bar that's been set. It's not particularly strong compared to any other proof deep cameo coin that we've seen. This one sold for $1,688.62. So apparently it's a conditional rarity at grades above 68. That's what it is. And the deep cameo, you just don't see on this date. They kind of are plagued as the same issues as what's found on the 70s, 69s, and the SMS sets. So there you go. Almost $1,700 for this thing. Crazy. And here's another good one too. 1969D, 40% silver on tap. PCGS Mid-State 67 got a little bit of nice peripheral toning on both sides of the coin. Again, what's the rhyme or reason here other than registry set? Because, it did sell for $1,941.23. I think it makes a lot more sense to get like a double eagle gold, right? I mean, if we're talking like apples to apples on the money side, it's like, why buy this? Well, the registry set people who are a very elite small group of individuals that collect these, they'll want this. everybody else can do the double eagle gold, much like myself. So yeah, we're $59 short of $2,000 here, and again, I could just think of a whole lot of other coins I would rather get than this one, but that's the market for this. And then finally, we have a big one kind of anchoring the back end of this caboose train of a crazy market activity. 1974S Eisenhower dollar proof. 70 perfect grade deep cameo. This is the clad version, so copper nickel is what we have here. But perfect graded Eisenhowers are unicorns, because of their size. Even coins that are big as this and are kind of white gloved into the cases that the U.S. Mint sends out, they all seem to be a bullseye for some sort of contact mark or something. So again, another stunner. Again, very supernatural looking coin here. It's just ghostly white frosting really sets this one apart from the rest. $4,623.75 was the ultimate sale price on this beast. So that's it. That's the Monday market report. Launched properly on a Monday. Who would have thought? So hey, we are going to be back again for the live coin Q&A this evening. Go ahead and check us out on that channel, live coin Q&A. We start at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And we're going to talk a lot about some viewer submissions. People have sent in questions and photos. Hey, what do I have here? Let's go ahead and talk about it. And then we'll have a special guest next week as well. Matt from Lost Dutchman Coins, a prominent dealer in Indiana, will be on board. We're going to talk to him about Central States and all sorts of other great stuff. So you guys definitely don't want to miss that. But hey, that's going to go ahead and do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this show today on the Monday Market Report. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notifications, and we will be back on Whatnot with another coin auction. And guess what? We're doing Tuesdays bargain bin style. If you want cheap coins, you want something affordable, but really nice high quality and some rarities in there, come check out your boy Blue on the platform Whatnot. I'll have the links down below. But that's it. You guys take care. Have a great week. Enjoy your Monday. And I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.